So guys, the first thing I'm going to do is do my brows, and I am sorry if I keep on bending. I still haven't found the best arrangement for me to do my makeup because my mirror is so big. So I'm using a mirror from the eyeshadow, and I hope this works. I'm not used to working with such a small mirror, but let's see. I guess it all works out. So okay. So the first step is to outline your brows. As you can see, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so just make sure that this is the point where you follow the shape, your desired shape. Don't worry about the shape of your eyebrows. It's advisable as a beginner to follow the shape of your brows, but then you can try and manipulate the shape a little, just a little bit. Yeah. The next step is to tap your powder. This was actually supposed to be the first step. Tap your eyebrows with some powder to reduce oiliness, to make your brows last all day, and then begin filling or outlining if you had not outlined. So yeah, that is me outlining the brows. Basically, fill the area that you've outlined. I outlined the other eyebrow off camera, and I also filled it off camera. I usually finish with the front part because this area requires you to use light strokes to make sure it's lighter than the back. It has to be darker towards the end and lighter towards the beginning. Yes, and that is it. Just continue tweaking it to your desired shape. Don't worry so much because you're still concealing. So the next step is concealing, and this is really important. Even if you're not good at outlining, you really have to get this part right, because this is where you now actually tweak your brows to whatever shape you want or size. You can reduce them. Yeah. So that is me concealing them. I usually begin from the front, unlike filling. You should begin from the front and just make sure your hand is steady and you're seated well, comfortably, where you can see yourself clearly on the mirror. And just be slow but sure, especially as a beginner. Just make sure you take your time, and then make sure you put that arc, you carve that arc the way you want it, because that is really important. If you're not able to, oh, and I forgot to mention, begin with the lower side of the brow to create that arc so that you can know how to also arc the upper part of your brow. Yeah, and just take your time, slow, steady, and sure. Don't rush. There's no hurry, especially if you're still learning. You'll get there. So now I'm going in with my eye pencil, with my Davis eye pencil, just to fill the areas that I feel like I over concealed, or if my hand shaked a little bit, and then go to the upper part of your brow. And so the part that you act on your lower part is also, you should just follow that shape while arcing the upper part of your brow. And yeah, as you can see, the shape has started, imeanza kukua na shape yake. So that is what we're trying to do. And just go one eyebrow at a time, so that at least you can have one baseline for drawing the other one. And also always begin concealing and drawing the eyebrow that usually harder for you, because it's going to be easy to make the easy one. Sorry, that's a lot of easies in one sentence, because it's going to be easier to tweak the one that you can easily draw to look like the one that is usually hard to draw. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, always begin with the one that is usually most challenging for you. So if it's the right one, begin with the right one. If it's your left side, begin with the left side. Now I'm just spreading basically not really blending. I'm just spreading the excess concealer to my eyelids, because I'm going to do a full glam look, a full bit. So there's no need for me to rub that concealer. I'll just spread it there, because yeah, I had already primed my face, so there's nothing. Don't panic. And as you can see, I used concealer on top of my brow. You can always use eyeshadow, but I decided to use concealer because I was going to do makeup, as I said before. So if I was just doing my brows or light makeup, I would have used foundation. And also, if you have a problem with blending, you're not so good at it, just avoid using concealer on top of your brow. You can use foundation, your color of foundation, because you won't have to blend it a lot. It will look natural. Yes. So I'm just cleaning up a little bit. I'm comfortable with how my brows look so far. In terms of shape, I'm just cleaning, and don't panic about the beginning of my brows. I'm going to fix that. I just usually want to finish with that part because I can't start making them look more natural until I'm sure the shape and size is the same. So the beginning of your brow is the part that you should always tweak last, and by tweaking I'm meaning using the pencil or a spoolie after you filled your brows. So just continue cleaning off the excess concealer, especially if you're not, or foundation, especially if you're not doing anything else to your face. If you're just drawing your eyebrows, you need it to be as clean as possible. So yes, and I am done with that part. Oh, and the concealer that I'm using is Illegal Pro Concealer in the shade Toffee Caramel. And I'm still continuing to feel. I noticed some areas were not as full as I would want them to be, especially towards the end, which needs to be really dark. And I had also over concealed a few areas. So that is basically what I'm doing right now. Um, that is me checking to see if I've done it correctly. This mirror was really giving me a hard time because I had to just take certain angles for me to see myself well. And now I'm going in with my spoolie. So the spoolie is usually the first and last tool while doing your brows. And especially at the front, it's really important for you to use the spoolie to use light strokes, very light strokes, to clean off the excess eye pencil that you might have. You can't really tell what strokes you used at the front, so maybe you didn't use, your strokes were not soft enough, and you had to correct them. So basically that is what I was doing with the spoolie, and then I'm still alternating between my eye pencil and my concealer just to make a few changes and make sure that my eyebrows are looking as awesome as they possibly can. So you'll, especially if you're not used to it, you'll go on and off, alternating. So keep them brushes, keep them tools close because you're going to need them. You're going to alternate between them. So yeah, keep on checking to see if the eyebrows are the way you would want them to be. And this is the final look, guys. And thank you. Bye.